Ladies and gentlemen, Frank.
Fuck who I was, this is who I am now. Look into the mirror and tell myself to stand down. I don't need charity or help or a handout. In this stuck-up world, I'm the only one who stands out. Fuck what you heard, take what you're hearing. See no evil, so why the fuck you staring? I'm not an expert, but I'll give you a piercing. But the one that I give you isn't why you fucking earrings. I'm not pistol packing, wouldn't harm a fly, but I still watch my back until karma dies. I'm so nervous, but my palms are dry. Gotta fight this anxiety while my arms are tied. That's not really even, I just want a fair fight, man. Tired of walking through the ghetto like a scared white man. Holding up weed next to Bibles on my nightstand so I can get higher to my desired flight plan.
Sometimes life just wasn't meant to be, so tell me why death is still my enemy. Slip out a tear as we pass the week, cause life's way better living in a fantasy. Living in a fantasy. Yeah, we're living in a fantasy. We on some shit that you can't believe. Seeing money through the ceiling. Living in a fantasy.
I'm living in a dream world, dying in reality. Pretend to live a fantasy, my life is coming after me. I predict a tragedy, not likely this capacity. My dreams are so good, my life becomes a parody. So I get what I want, if it's all made up. Model looking chick, and that's without makeup. I don't need a barber, always have my fade done. Go to the studio and do it all and take one. They tell me this ain't real, but my real life is a fake one. I can even taste a girl's pussy on my taste buds. Here I can be me, cause I know I ain't dumb. I'm prepared for rainy days, if a rainy day comes. Darkness ain't my thing, I only live for sunshine. Out of that world, I only visit sometimes. Fuck all the haters with the sit and duck lives. Right now I'm living my I don't give a fuck life.
Sometimes life just wasn't meant to be, so tell me why death is still my enemy. Slip out a tear as we pass the week, cause life's way better living in a fantasy. Living in a fantasy. Yeah, we're living in a fantasy. We on some shit that you can't believe. Seeing money through the ceiling. Living in a fantasy. Living in a fantasy. Yeah, we're living in a fantasy. We on some shit that you can't believe. Seeing money through the ceiling. Living in a fantasy.
Living in a fantasy is something that you have to see. All the things that I've seen. Do you wanna take this path with me? Life is like vodka, so hard to swallow. And if you drink enough, you will feel it tomorrow. So I don't do that, it's too much up and uproar. But don't worry, I smoke enough weed to make up for. Life is my best friend, death is my main foe. You have to go through thunderstorms to get to a rainbow. I'll follow that rainbow till I get a pot of gold. School of hard knocks, graduated with the honor roll. Get out of that dream world. Tell me, what's better than your dream girl? What's better than driving in your dream car, living in your dream house, loving with the dream heart? What's better is actually having it. But if you don't, then you can imagine it. If marijuana won't do it, getting sleep might. Hey, a young dreamer can dream, right?